Hi, my name is Kingston Shao,
And I am Daniel Troshin.
and we're from the United States of America, San Francisco, California.
And we are both juniors at Saint Ignatius College Preparatory.
And welcome to Arrive Alive Medical.
Every year, millions of children die. Not because we don't have the cure, not because the science doesn't exist, but because the cure never arrives alive. Vaccines, insulin, blood, life-saving medicine, all of it depends on one invisible thing: temperature. And right now, the industry is failing to innovate. Across long, hot terrain, medicine travels in fragile, inefficient systems. Reefer containers that cost too much, dry ice that can't be regulated, chemical cooling that's unsafe, flammable, or impossible to scale, and in many regions, clinics that don't even have stable electricity. So when medicine arrives, it often arrives dead.
The result? Up to 50% of vaccines are wasted due to cold chain failure. Yes, 50. The pharmaceutical industry loses $20 to $35 billion every year in spoiled medical products due to temperature deviation and loss of potency. And most tragically, 3.5 to 5 million people die every year from diseases we already know how to prevent, like the 95,000 unvaccinated children under 5 who tragically died in 2024 from measles, a disease with a vaccine invented 63 years ago. That's not a scientific problem, that's a logistics problem, and logistics is something we can solve.
Arrive Alive enters a blue ocean. Our solution is to create a double-layered stainless steel box containing an aluminum canister filled with liquid CO2, a refrigerant when properly compressed and evaporated, and a circuit board that autonomously regulates the temperature of the load with exact precision. The software will utilize a customizable Arduino program to continuously measure the temperature inside our containers, and when the circuit board senses that the temperature is rising beyond safe levels, the canister will release bursts of compressed CO2, an inert stable gas, to reduce the heat, always keeping the temperature stable with a margin of error to protect any product from overheating or overcooling. It works in airplanes, trucks, and villages, not just for hours, but for weeks. Not only can we make a lot more of these packages than other manufacturers can make of their product, the actual CO2 canister can get recycled, sent back to us, or replaced with a brand new one while leaving the stainless steel box untouched and in the hands of the carrier. And most crucially for large corporations we'll be partnering with, our technology significantly reduces both cost and weight.
We estimate that at scale, each of our CO2 smart cooling units can be manufactured for approximately $50 to $200 per unit, depending on the size. This includes the aluminum outer housing, high-efficiency insulation, brass valve, custom PCB temperature control system, battery module, and any accompanying labor costs. In comparison, current tech in the industry demands much higher prices, with industrial reefer containers typically costing between $3,000 and $10,000, solar-powered vaccine refrigerators ranging from $1,000 to $3,000, and dry ice systems that often run businesses hundreds to thousands of dollars per shipment. Additionally, we don't rely on any external energy source. The overall weight of each shipment is substantially reduced. Reefer container manufacturers like Thermo King and Carrier Transit Cold use heavy, power-dependent systems that demand external infrastructure, whereas portable cold box makers like B Medical Systems and Pelican Biothermal rely on heavy ice packs with limited duration. We are not competing in the red ocean of traditional refrigeration. We are entering an entirely new category and simultaneously showing cost efficacy. And with 3 sizes available at 1.5, 6, and 24 cubic feet, Arrive Alive Medical has the flexibility to serve any manufacturer that needs our technology.
The cold chain logistics industry is growing rapidly, with more vaccines being transported than ever. The market is expected to grow by $130 billion over the next 5 years with a 6% annual CAGR. We would enter this market in 3 phases.
First, we would pursue smaller pharmaceutical distributors and regional health ministries that are currently using expensive containers or dry ice that are finding the cost prohibitive. Second, Arrive Alive Medical would begin expanding into NGOs, humanitarian aid organizations like the WHO, UNICEF, and MSF, and rural clinic in developing nations that have chosen not to use conventional cold chain solutions due to complexity or cost. Third, we would enter the commercial landscape via agriculture exporters, food distributors, organ transport services, and disaster relief coordinators that have never considered cold chain logistics very relevant to their industry, but whose operations would be transformed by the technology we provide. Anywhere the cold matters, we will protect it.
We live in a world where 14.3 million children were left unvaccinated last year, but we also live in a world where 154 million lives have already been saved by vaccines. Now imagine how many more could be saved if more medication reached its intended destination. Arrive Alive Medical is about bridging the gap between medicine and humanity, because no one should die from a lack of a cure that already exists, and no family should suffer from a systemic issue that can be solved. Thank you.